What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a late review for Summer House Martha's Vineyard. This is season 1, episode number 6. An episode is titled Naked Ambition, you guys. So this episode review, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Summer House Martha's Vineyard, shall we? All right, you guys, so I just want to pose this question to everybody out there who's watching. How are you guys feeling about Summer House currently? For me, the show it's okay. I like the show. I would like to see a season 2 of the show. I do feel like if we get a season 2, there are some people that I could go without seeing, mainly Jasmine and Silas. I can really go without seeing them or hearing them, and that's both ways. Hearing them have sex, seeing them have sex, hearing their voices. I can do without both of those, right? So, this episode, we picked up where we left off in the last one, and that was when Jasmine was talking about how she's struggling, and I had it correct. Jasmine is struggling with her identity as a wife, right? I don't necessarily think that Jasmine wanted to be a wife. I honestly feel like Jasmine married Silas for stability, right? Because think about it. She said they had a relationship during the pandemic. She said she was a homeless person living in her car with Mariah. I believe that this marriage is a marriage of convenience and of financial and, home stability, right? I think that's what this marriage is, right? So she's saying that she's struggling with, her friendships. And there was the other thing that I had been saying. I think that she's struggling between being a married woman. I think she still wants to hang out with her friends and be that party girl that she probably was, as opposed to being Silas's wife. And I would go for the latter. I would rather be a party girl than to be married to the likes of a Silas Cooper. But we'll discuss him later, right? So, honestly, also when it comes down to Jasmine, I do think that Jasmine is very judgmental. I really do. I think that she is looking down and frowning her nose up at her girlfriends who are not married. And that's not a good thing to do, right? Like, I think it's kind of shitty. Let's just keep it real, because I think that's why she's pushing so much for, Jordan and other ladies to hook up with people, right? Even with Bria, even though Bria is in a relationship with Simon, I really feel as if she is judging him like, oh, you're not in a relationship, but I can't do this with you and I can't do that with you. That's what Jasmine is really giving, and it makes it easy. It makes it more. More so reasons why I don't like Jasmine, but we can talk about that down in the comment section below, you guys. So next thing, we get back to the house. So, this is the first night that we didn't see Jasmine and Silas have sex. And I was like, thank God for a small miracle, because I am overhearing that loud, incessant thing she calls moaning. I'm just over it, right? So the next morning we see, as they're getting their day started, and Jasmine has made breakfast for Silas, right? And I guess she burnt the food, so Silas wasn't here for it. And Jason was being very supportive of Jasmine after the dinner and the next morning when they were talking, right? He was very supportive of the things that she said. And we're going to get into Jason a little later, but let's go ahead and pause here and move forward, you guys. So Jasmine went up to Jordan's room, and she was talking about how at dinner she was observing Simon. And I'm like, why are you observing Simon? Like, what has Simon has not done anything to you at this point. So why are you observing this man? The person you need to be observing is your controlling ass husband. That is the only person that you need to be observing. Because I'm like, what has Simon, Simon. Like, what are you observing him for? if Bria's happy and Bria likes him, what are we observing this man for? He hasn't done anything at all. And so yeah, she says she was observing him. So then she says that so Jordan asked her, so how do you feel currently? And she was like, I feel good. And so she was talking about how with her girlfriends, she checks in on them to make sure that they're good, and she just wants them to do the same thing for her, right? And I was like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, because and see, when it comes to friendships, you know which friends are needy, and you know which friends aren't, right? Because I have, like, with my best friend and I, neither one of us in our friendship, we're not needy, right? So we don't text each other we used to text each other all the time. We used to text each other like every day, but we got away from that because we know our friendship and we know our relationship. We don't have to text each other every day. We can text every blue. We don't even text every day. We definitely don't text every day, but we text frequent enough. And if it goes too long, one of us will reach out to the other and be like, I ain't heard from you, right? And it doesn't change anything with our relationship. But I do feel like with Jasmine, I think that Jasmine is that friend who needs that reassurance from her friends to say, hey girl, just thinking about you. Oh, thank you for thinking about me. I think Jasmine is just that person. I think that's just her personality. And it is what it is, right? So Shanice is back, so I'm assuming that it's the weekend. And baby, we're going to talk about Shanice in just a second because there was a lot of stuff that happened in this episode with Miss Shanice. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So, like I said, Shanice is back in the house for the weekend. So, this is another scene that kind of really annoyed me. And I was so here for Preston. Like, Preston is the one person that I can say that I truly, truly like out of everybody on this cast, right? I like Alex. Nick is annoying. Jasmine's annoying. Silas is hella annoying. I love Preston. Amir, I don't know how to feel about Amir. Bria, I don't know how to feel about Bria. So a lot of them I just don't know how to feel about, right? So Milo. So Milo, at some point in this episode or during the night or day, he went down to the basement and he took a shit, right? So somebody saw it and they're like, oh my God, Milo took a shit, right? And Alex at one point said, let's have a house meeting. And then I don't know if Alex was being funny and facetious when he said, let's have a house meeting. But Silas took it so seriously. We need to have a house meeting and talk to Bria. And I'm like, why do you need to have a house meeting to have a conversation with Bria about the fact that Milo took a dump in the house? You're right by Bria's room. Go knock on Bria's room door and say, hey, Bria. And she comes to the door. She said, what's up? Yo, Milo just took his shit downstairs. Like, can you go clean it up? That's the simplest thing you can say instead of, oh, we need to call a house meeting. We need to call a house meeting. Why? It's not, and it very much so gives that Silas has a fear of Bria. I don't know. That's what I get, right? Because why can't you just sit down with Bria and say, yo, Bria, your dog, he took a dump in the house. So can you kindly go down there and pick it up and clean up after him, right? He's your dog. Go clean up after him. And even like Preston said, if it bothers you that much, why don't you go clean it up? And so somebody, I don't know if it was Amir or if it was Nick or Alec. It was one of the guys, but somebody brought it up to Bria like, hey, Bria, Milo, he shit downstairs in the basement. She said he did. And Bria went down there, picked it up, and cleaned up where it was. Didn't even leave a spot. It was just that easy. And Preston was like, are you serious? Like, exactly. Like, are y'all serious? You want to call a house meeting because the dog took a shit? Again, like Preston said, either you pick it up or leave it, like tell her, one of the two. It is not that big of a deal. So next up, we got Shanice, right? So Shanice is talking about this situation with Alex, how Alex Googled her ex-boyfriend. And now, mind you, in the episode when she brought up the ex-boyfriend, she said that she called him back to back. That is harassment. Like, are you serious? And then you trying to sit here and make the boyfriend out to be a bad guy, to be a villain. And it's like, no, ma'am, that is something that we not gonna do. You said that you did the shit to the man, so you go on. Like, no, you're not innocent, Shanice. I think that there's something wrong with Shanice. Like me being honest with you guys, something's not right up here with Shanice. I ain't seen, I feel like a few screws are just loose in Shanice's brain. Period. That's all I gotta say, right? So we'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, so the guys, and remember earlier in the season episodes, I think it was 2 episodes ago, right, when they were talking about the guys and the girls going out, and the girls were going to go to the bar, that they want to get the drinks sent to them, right? Well, this is that episode. So the guys went to one bar, and the girls went out, right? The girls had a good damn time. They were getting drunk, dancing, falling in the grass, and all that kind of stuff. So they had a blast, right? The guys, I don't know if I would have had any kind of fun with the guys because of the conversation that they were having. So Silas wants to have a conversation with Simon. What they got to do with cheating? Then they were talking about Jason, and I don't know if Silas is threatened by other men around Jasmine. That's what it gives to me, that he's threatened, right? So he was talking about, so Silas was talking about Jason and, him getting pussy and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, Silas, I'm so surprised that you get any. The way that you pound into Jasmine's vagina, the way that you pound that girl and thrust into that woman, I'm surprised you get any of your damn self, right? The more that Silas talked, the more I dislike Silas. And so I say, if there is a season 2 of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, we can ixnay Jasmine and Silas Cooper. Those two can go. Now, I want to piggyback to Mr. Jason real quick. Jason, you talking about how you got a 3-month-old daughter, and what the hell are you doing here and not spending time with your daughter? That's a red flag right there for me. Like, you not spending time with your child, go home and be with your child, right? So they get back to the house, right? And the girls were there first. So you see Jasmine and Shanice, and they were having a good time in the pool, right? In the pool, they skinny dipped. They were, twerking on the counter. They were in the hot tub topless. And so the guys returned, right? So this is where I say I want you guys to, chime in and let me know what you think. So Shanice was in the hot tub with, I know Amir was in there. I know Alex was in there. And I believe Jordan was outside and Simon were out there, right? So Shanice done took it upon herself to just take off her top, so she ain't got no bra on, so her titties frolicking free. And then she done took off her bottom, so her ass and her vagina's out. And I was with Bria because that was very disrespectful, right? Because you have 2 men in the house that are in relationships with other women, right? You have a married couple, and you have Silas and Jasmine, and you have Bria and Simon. And I did think that was hella disrespectful, and I was with Bria. I wasn't upset with the way that Bria reacted. Like, I was on Bria's side, right? So let me know what you guys think, right? So speaking of Silas is a very insecure man. The more that I listen to Silas and Jasmine talk, you realize how insecure he is, right? So they had sex in the closet, and bravo if y'all don't stop showing or playing audio of those two fucking. I'm really over that. Like, that is something that I'm tired of seeing and I'm tired of hearing, right? So they had sex in the closet, and once again you hear them loud ass moans coming from Jasmine, and I'm like, you are really just stroking this man's ego, because I just don't think that he's putting it down like that. Like, I really don't. So they had dinner, and Jordan is a confusing one, right? She was upset that I think it was Alex that called her thick, right? But then she wasn't really more. It didn't seem like she was so upset when they were telling her about the fact that basically the guys were trying to call dibs on her when they got there to the house, right? Once again, let's bring it back. This episode ended with Miss Shanice, right? So they were outside, and Shanice came to the balcony with her titties hanging out. I was like, girl, disrespectful. Everybody just about is disrespectful on this cast, the more that I think about it. Amir was disrespectful because he let Jasmine and not Jasmine, but Mariah and Bria get into it, right? Nick is disrespectful because you're flirting with the girls and you got a whole girlfriend, right? Um, Bria is disrespectful because of the shit with Milo. He's shitting everywhere. He's shedding. Jasmine and Silas disrespectful because y'all having sex loud as hell, right? Like everybody on this cast is just damn near disrespectful. Shanice, you walking around with your titties out and your vagina out, disrespectful. Everybody, with the exception of Preston, has been disrespectful in this show. But that's really all I got, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys for something else, you guys. So you guys will see this on Wednesday morning. And what do we have on Wednesday? We have Sisters, and that's it. Because Married at First Sight reunion, I don't think it starts to next week. Or is it this week? I don't know. When is the reunion from? Let me know in the comment section if you guys know when. I think it's next week. I'm not positive. We'll watch it this week, but I'm almost. Oh, it is. It is starting next week. So yeah. So this week on Wednesday, the only thing we have is Sisters, and then on Thursday we have. I need to do Hot Topics, and Hot Topics and College Hill, and then Friday Bell Collective and Bell Collective, and that's it, right? That's the only thing I have on Friday is Bell Collective, and then Saturday Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.